Hi there, I'm Luke with London Woodcraft, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the knife scales I've made and try to give you a better idea of what's involved and what you're getting for the dollar, why the costs are what they are, and kind of the quality of the work that I do. Okay, there's a lot of work involved in bringing the wood from a block to scales on a knife. I use a band saw, a table saw, an edge sander, and a drill press, obviously. Okay, so as you can see, it starts out as a block of wood. I ordered this. This is stabilized Burl maple. Some of the services I offer is if you send your knife in to me, I could make scales for your knife. If you don't have if I don't have the knife that you have, you'll have to send it in or wait for me to get it if it is a knife I'm interested in getting. If it is a knife I have, I can make the scales for you and send them to you. One thing you have to keep in mind when ordering the wood is you gotta know what the size, and you can't just measure, like here, this is a 0 tolerance 350. You can't just measure from here to here. What you need to do is use like the edge of a table or a desk or a square and measure from, make sure you catch that point and that point, and then measure to the highest point. So on this knife it'd be probably closer to around 1 3/4 inches I need. These blocks, this one here from the supplier I got it from, only has them 1.5 inches wide, so it works for a small knife like this. And again, they only had 5 inches long. Here we're looking at more like, well, this one's covered by 5 inches, but some of the knives are longer than that. So getting the size right, of course, sometimes the blocks can range up to like $80 for a block of wood. This one here was about 40. Another thing is the finish that I put on them. As you can see, there's kind of like a sheen on there. I put a very high quality finish on. It's a varnish, and I put 2 coats on the front and 1 on the back. The reason you don't want to just coat one side is because if you leave the other side exposed, then it could absorb moisture and cause, which stabilized wood isn't supposed to absorb anything, which I notice it does. I'll show you some before and after pictures of when I stain these. They do take color, which means it absorbs. On these ones here, this is a Kershaw Leek, and I used it as an everyday carry for a while, and I noticed after a while it just got like black, and all I did was oil this one. This one here is the same, but I haven't used it as much. You can see kind of in the center there how it's gotten darker. What finishing the wood does is it seals it and keeps anything from absorbing into the wood, and thus causing it to, you know, darken. And also you can see that this one looks kind of dull, and this one's kind of glossier. It has a kind of a luster to it. Also, if like basic scratches and stuff like that, you know, I wouldn't use it in your pocket with like a set of keys. I have a flashlight that I kept in my pocket with some keys, and it looked like it was stonewashed after a couple months, because, you know, if you don't take care of your stuff, it's going to scratch anyways, regardless of what's on it. But this here is about a $45 knife, so I probably won't be doing too many for this, because right now my basic cost for scales like this is around $100, and that's including the material, unless of course you order, you know, I order a block that's like $80. Obviously the price is going to go up. Again, this is some of the wood that I used for this knife. You can see the difference in the color and the sheen. This is not finished at all. What I did was I stained it and before I finished it, so it kind of brings out some of the life in the wood, and also over time it won't get all black, you know. These ones I'm probably going to sand down and refinish later. So that's just a brief review of what I'm doing at this time with scales and my services. If you have any questions, you can email me at customknifescales@gmail.com, and I could answer your questions to the best of my ability. If you have a knife that you'd like to see scales made for, leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for future videos on some of the work I'm doing, and you can follow me on Instagram at World of Woodcraft is my username on Instagram, and also I post some pictures on Knife Thursday, and you can see some pictures on there as I'm doing work. I'll probably do another video just to give you some ideas on, like, when you're taking the knives apart, some things to watch out for and be careful with. I'll post some more pictures of some of these blades for you to look at. You kind of need to feel it to appreciate, though, the finish. It really feels nice in the hand, and you know, it turned out pretty well, and it still functions. The one thing I forgot to talk about is Zero Tolerance. I contacted them. This does not void the warranty by replacing the scales on it. However, if you do send your knife in for warranty repair, they recommend that you put the scales back on, the G10 ones or whatever came on the knife. There was a couple copyright things I have to watch out for, but this doesn't void your warranty, as long as they said, as long as you don't alter the functionality of the knife. So I don't know if I modified anything, but it still works like it's supposed to. This knife here, obviously, its strength is in its liners and the blade and the locking system. There's a little bit extra work because of the spring inside there. Some more routing I have to do. On this particular knife here, I made the one side with the spring just a hair thicker for some added strength. If you notice, when you're putting pressure, I don't know if you could tell in this video, but when you're putting pressure on the spring, sometimes it pushes up on the scale, and you can actually see light between the liner and the scale. And one other thing you might notice, you get that little clicking sound. That could easily be taken out by, if you take it apart and you put some like thick grease inside where the spring goes. That's just the spring inside there moving back and forth. If that bothers you, that's a way you can fix it. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Hopefully I get some more blades done soon. I can get them up and do some more videos. If you have any questions or things you want me to cover in future videos, let me know, and also subscribe, and have a nice day.